The Love Your Body podcast is brought to you by Danny D Fitness, along with Cinema 83, and our featured sponsor, Music City FitCon, presented by Core and Health Fitness. If you're looking to come to the next Move Fit pop-up, it's actually happening at the Music City FitCon in October. So I actually have a deal with them going on for $30. So you can come get your Move Fit on and come to my panel discussion, which is going to be epic. So I'm very excited about it. You can find the deal on my Instagram. Link is in my bio. It's going to be an awesome event. You can actually get CECs. So if you're somebody looking to start your healthy lifestyle journey, if you're looking to start teaching, training, you can come take class all day long. But I will be speaking and doing Move Fit that day. So I'd love to see the Music City FitCon. For those of you who've seen my new LYB gym, you've seen all the amazing equipment in there. My Stairmaster as well as my RXD bench came from Core and Health Fitness. And I'm so honored and excited to have them as a sponsor for this podcast, as they believe in the mission that everyone should move their body and love their body throughout their journey. If you're looking to add pieces of equipment to your home gym, you can reach out to Tony Gray. He's my contact at Core and Health Fitness. His contact is TGRAY at CorehandF.com. So tell him I sent you and that you heard about him and heard about Core and Health Fitness on the Love Your Body podcast.
So male bodybuilding, what'd you say?
They have like a really big followers.
Okay.
Yeah, really big followers.
And I get that because it's Olympia. It's the mecca of everything. So tell me, because I don't really know. And I'll introduce you, as Vania Auguste, the Olympian, everything like that, which is amazing. And I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. But tell me, I'm just so excited because I just love you so much. And I've only, again, it's I know you, but I don't. So,
right.
So tell me, have you lived in Tennessee long? When did you start bodybuilding? All the things.
Okay, so technically I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, all right.
So I was born in Haiti.
Okay.
Raised there. And then from there, we went to Brooklyn, New York. I think I was 13 or 14.
Okay.
High school. And then I lived in Brooklyn for all the way to college.
Okay.
I was in Brooklyn. I went to school in Staten Island. So it's one of the state in New York City.
Yes, yeah.
And then after that, it was just getting hard. I was just this can't be life. When you're at a point where you're you're doing everything, and you still don't have money.
Yeah, for sure.
You have 3 jobs.
And you just, you're working to live.
Oh my gosh, it was just so intense. And living in Brooklyn, you have so much to do. There's always something to do.
Yeah.
It was just I can't do this.
Right.
I'm working 3 jobs, barely sleeping,
right.
And I still don't have no saving.
And this is why you're in college? Or is this
probably senior year of college, exiting college,
Yeah.
It's just this is ridiculous. Applying for a job, not getting anything at all.
And what were you going to school for?
I went to school for political science and philosophy.
Okay. So you didn't really have a clear path of because a lot, lawyers where they're okay, then the next thing are doctors, right? So you're just kind of I got to figure out what I want to do.
I had a path.
Okay.
So I went to school for.
Oh, you're good. Make sure you hear.
Better.
Good. There you go. Gotta make sure. Yep.
So I went to school for political science and philosophy, and then my minor in French because, I speak French, and I wanted to keep my GPA up. So I was French, perfect. I'll minor in French to keep the GPA up. While I was in school, I did an internship at a city, for the government, because I wanted to be a lawyer. That was the goal, to be a lawyer. And after that internship in the government in that state, I was just this is crazy.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I was working on an after-school program.
Okay.
And I enjoyed that so much, just working with the kids.
I love that. Little kids,
Little kids. It was little kids, 6, 7, little kids. But it was they had kids from kindergarten all the way to high school.
Okay.
It was a daycare, not a daycare, after-school program.
Yes.
Then I think right when I graduated college, I was trying to see what do I want to do. I was okay, I think I want to give it a try for teaching.
Yeah.
So I started looking into teaching and what you need to teach.
Okay.
And, you got to take a test. If for a certain subject that you want to teach, you have to take the test. And then from there, apply to different program or different schools. So I started doing that. While I was doing that, my best friend moved to Tennessee. And she's been in Tennessee for 3 years about now. I used to come and visit her.
Oh, okay.
So I'll come here and I'll visit her and I'll ask her all those questions like,
yeah.
How much is rent? How much is this? How much is that?
How are you living? Yep.
Right.
Yep.
How is this? So coming here for like, she was here for like 3 years. I came to see her every summertime. Yeah. And I loved it. I was like, this would be the next place for me to move.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah, I was like, this is it.
Nice.
So I applied to a program and I got accepted.
Okay.
Here in Memphis.
Oh, okay. All
right?
Yep.
So I got accepted in Memphis. I was like, this is the perfect time for me to move.
Yeah, I love that.
So I moved to, I moved with her. I moved with my best friend in Laverne. I moved with her. And then the program wouldn't start until the beginning of the following year.
Okay.
So I moved 2016 and it wouldn't start until 2017.
Okay.
School year.
Gotcha.
Wise. So when I moved here, I was like, oh my God, I need to find a job.
Yeah.
So I started looking for a job and then I landed in the school that I was working at as a teacher's assistant. They hired me as a teacher's assistant.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Learn about teaching until I go to Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and how old are you at this time?
24, 25.
Okay, gotcha.
Around that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 25.
And were you, like, did you grow up, like, is it a big family, small family? Like, are you?
Big family.
Big family, okay.
Yeah.
And then was, like, health, like, prioritized? Was it just more, like, now we're eating whatever? Like, were y'all athletic? Like,
we were very athletic. Okay. So that was a good thing. Like, we didn't eat that much junk food or homemade food, like the Haitian culture, homemade food. It was really good, but it was like very heavy in carbs.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to eat rice and beans, you have your chicken, you still have plantain that you're eating and salad, but it was like really heavy. Like, sometimes breakfast will be like spaghetti.
So do you know how to make all that food?
Yes.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, how hard is that for you being like an Olympian and then like you're good with it?
I haven't been cooking Haitian food in a while.
Okay.
No.
So yeah.
So it was hard. I had to be like, okay, you got to turn. I think like 2 weeks ago, I made some rice and beans because I was craving it.
Right.
But like cheat meal wise, I don't. Yeah. Like I don't try to cook because one, it takes forever to cook because so much food.
Right.
And then after that, I'm like, I hate wasting food.
Yeah. So
and I don't know how to cook for me and my boyfriend. It's just the two of us. I'm like.
This is more like it's gonna be a spread. We gotta invite everybody over, everybody eat it. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so I try not to cook it. So that's how I ended up in Tennessee.
Okay.
And I did my first bodybuilding show while I was in Brooklyn.
Okay.
My last year in school also, I did my first bodybuilding show. Yeah. And then when I moved down here, the bodybuilding world was so small.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because that was 2017, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. So like,
it was just like.
Right.
Like Gold Gym was it.
Like
when I got here and I saw Gold Gym, I was like, oh my God, they have a Gold Gym. I was so excited. And then it was like this is different.
Yeah. It's like it is, but like it's not. Yeah.
It was like so different. Yeah.
No, that's so wild. So I mean, it's definitely blown up. I mean, like, it's crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
So do you feel like, so when you came down, so you did your show in Brooklyn, and then, like, how did you do? Like, were you bikini?
I did bikini.
Okay.
I did bikini. I placed 7, and then I placed 6 in one of my classes.
Okay.
And I was so confused because I was just like, I look the best, you know?
At this point, you had a coach? You were doing the whole thing?
I did. Okay. I had a coach before bodybuilding. When I decided to get into bodybuilding, I really, like, took 6 months to myself to learn about everything about bodybuilding. Like,
love that.
The exercise, the name of the exercise, the name of the I just remember, like, I hate at a point, like, I will go to the gym and I'm like, oh, let's go get this bar. I'm like, what do you call this bar? Barbell.
Right.
Dumbbell. Like, I started learning, like, the name of the machines.
Yes, I love that.
I was watching videos, Kai Green, a bodybuilder.
Yep. I love it.
Not like a figure or bikini. I was watching the man's workout.
Because
and
that's
I was
all there
like,
was.
Right. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do his workout. And his workout was like an hour and a half.
Right.
Intense.
I could just see you, like, doing some bicep curls, like, in front of the mirror.
Intense. So I was like, oh my God. Like, I was doing, like, abs every day.
Yes.
Like, Kai Green, his workout was so intense. I was like, oh my God. But I was, at that time, getting ready for bikini,
Okay.
I didn't know much about the division. I just knew that the division was the smallest one, the entry level, if you want to get into it. Because when I was inspired by figure.
Okay.
I saw Latoya Watts. She's like a figure Olympian, top Olympian, you know. And I saw her one time. She did the honor in 2015 or 16. She was wearing this pink suit. Yeah. And she looked so gorgeous. I was like, I have chills right now.
Yeah, that
I was
just gave me chills too.
It's like, I want to do this. I want to look like her.
Okay.
You know, and I started looking at things like, okay, you want to try a bikini first and then go into a figure. Okay. So when I did bikini, I was lifting heavy because I was, you know, watching Kai Green.
Right, yep.
And my coach did give me my workout and my, you know, cardio protocol, my diet. And I did follow it, but some of the workout was like, this is nothing. Like, I'm used to doing more stuff. So when I got on stage, at that time, you would say I was wellness because the legs, they were big.
Okay, gotcha.
And I always had glutes. So I was like, jack with muscle, my abs like shizzle and stuff. And then the girls that plays before me, they were like so slim, so tiny. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is going on?
Like, why am I not placing?
Right. And I didn't understand that until 2017. It took me a while to understand the division, how to train for it.
So then when you got to Tennessee and everything, you got a new coach. Is that right?
No, I stayed with the same coach.
Okay, stay with the same coach. Okay, so then with that coach, was there a discussion about maybe going to figure, or were you just like, no, I got to stay in bikini and like trim down my legs? Like,
well, we thought about figure for a second, and I was like, you know what, let's do bikini one more time. Okay. Because, you know, the first time was my first time. Okay, I have more knowledge about the sport. Let's do bikini one more time. Yeah. Right. So we did, it was the first time I did NPC State. Okay, yeah. And that time they had it at Opryland. Yes. And Brendan was the one that was promoting it. Okay. I wonder if it's NPC State. It might be probably was called something different. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I decided to do that. So I said, okay, let's do a show in Tennessee. Yeah. And see how we do. Like, what's the competition there? Like, do I actually have a future in bodybuilding? Right. That was like my reason for competing. I said, before we decide what division,
let's see. Yeah. Okay, I love that.
So we went to do Tennessee, and I won all my classes, like 3 classes that I did.
Hey, of
I
course.
won all my classes, and then I got second in the overall. It was just like, so close. Oh, man, but it was like the best feeling ever, like going home with 3 trophies. Like,
well, so explain this to people listening, because they're probably like, okay, bodybuilding, like they're getting acclimated to it, you know? But again, so you can win all your classes and they may think, okay, so you won. But so to win the overall would have got you a pro card, correct?
No, not in that.
Okay.
Not in that show.
Okay.
No, it was just the title.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Okay.
And there's this thing also as if you want to go to a national qualifier show. So we have your local shows, national qualifier show, and then you have pro qualifier show where you get your pro card.
So that was your local show.
I think it was a national qualifier.
Okay, got it.
It was a national qualifier. Okay. So they had this thing, and till this day, people still think that before you go to a pro qualifier show, you gotta win overall. Okay. So when you win overall at the show, you are competitive enough to go to a pro qualifier to get your pro card.
Got it. Okay.
So that was why I was so bummed about it. I was like, man, like I don't think I'm ready to go to the next level. Right. Pro qualifier. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No,
okay.
It doesn't. You can win your class, go to a pro qualifier, and get your pro card. Okay. I mean, if you have the muscle, you have the density, you know, you look amazing, you're going to get your pro card. It doesn't. And I know some girls, sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time because once you qualify, you're done. You're good. Yeah. You don't have to do any qualifier, so you can do a pro qualifier. Okay. And some of them, they continue to do more show to get that overall and say, okay, well, I've won 3 overall. Now I'm ready for a pro qualifier.
But really, that's not how you have to do it.
Really, no.
Okay, gotcha. So after that show, so you're feeling confident. You got your 3 trophies. I know. Like that. So then was it just like, all right, let's go all in? Or were you like, what was the mindset?
At that point, I was like, okay, we can do bikini. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm satisfied with staying in bikini. Okay. That was 2016. We did that show. And then 2017 was where I went to go do a pro qualifier show. Okay. I've done 3 shows that year, 3 pro qualifier show. Okay. Junior USA, I got last call out.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like the girl all at the end.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was just like, Okay. It was like a wake up call also.
Yeah.
Like, I'm competitive in my hometown,
Yeah.
but everybody had to win their class to get to the pro qualifier or even the overall.
Right.
So everybody looked good or even better.
Yeah.
So it was like a different competition. Like the competitive level was way different.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is a wake up call. I need to do better if I really want to turn pro.
Okay.
And so on. And then I went and did North American, and it was my first time getting first call out, and that feeling was...
So in North Americans, to explain to everybody, where is that located at, and like how big of a show is that?
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
And it's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite shows. Like,
it looks
pro qualifier
great.
show. It's one of my favorite shows. The audience is so amazing. I hate when I go to a show and everybody's so quiet.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm loud.
I know, I'm always like turning up. I'm like at the DJ,
I'm loud,
get the vibe,
yeah.
yes,
and I'm like, yes, ma'am, yes, girl.
Right.
Like some show is like super quiet. You get up.
Right. And it's like,
and it's just like all this hard work I'm putting on a show for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. North American, the DJ is good. The audience is live.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a long show because a lot of competitors like to do it. Okay. But it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a national qualifier.
It's a pro qualifier.
Pro qualifier. Okay.
Meaning if you win your class, you get the pro card.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're sitting up there. So it's 2018?
2017.
17. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you're up there. You get last call out. So then
first call out.
Oh, first call out.
Yeah.
So then after that happened, what was kind of what happened?
I felt amazing. I was like, oh my God, like I'm so close to getting my pro card.
Right.
2017, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is it. Like, I'm going to continue with the sport. I'm good at it. I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
And after the American, I got my feedback. And my feedback always been, bring your legs down. You need to be leaner. Bring your legs down.
Yeah.
And it was my first call out. I landed my first call out and I placed 7.
Okay.
But I was like, like my coach was like, you should have placed higher. I didn't even care. I was just happy that I was in that first call. I was
like,
last show we did, we were last, very end.
So progress.
Right.
Yes.
And then this is our next pro qualifier show and I get first call out. That is amazing. Like I was like mind blown.
Right. And how, from the time you got last to first, what was the time difference in that? Was it like how long between shows?
USA is May.
And also, I'm asking all of this, guys, because I genuinely don't know. So I've known Vania, but like I have not got to have this conversation with her because we're always like passing each other like in the gym, and just like you have such a hectic schedule. So do I. Like we're grinding. You're a posing coach as well. Like you pose. You do train clients as well, or is it just posing?
Well, right now posing.
Okay.
After the Olympia, I'll be more open to training clients.
Yeah, I know you're probably stretched so thin.
Yeah, I'm like
we're like what 6 weeks left.
Yes, I'm like let's pause on personal training and all that, and then once Olympia's over, we can focus on that.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so you had 2 months in between, all right, and so then so after that happened, what was the next one? So
after that, North American was in August.
Okay.
Then after that, I decided to do Miami.
Okay, how close?
Nationals. It was in December.
So you just like
yeah.
So how was that? Because for me, like I've only done back to back within a week time frame. So
it was tough.
Yeah, like did you just stay in a constant prep essentially?
It was definitely the one from Junior USA to North American. I was in constant prep. The one from North American to Nationals, they call it Nationals.
Yeah.
I think I took like a month off and then went back.
Okay.
Back to training really hard.
Gotcha.
So Miami is I need to stop saying Nationals.
Yeah, Nationals.
It's the last show of the pro qualifier. Okay. So it's also the last show for you to get your pro card. It's most of the time it's in December.
Okay.
Sometimes I have it like end of November, but most of the time it's in December.
Okay.
And they have a different place it. The past couple of years they had it in Miami, so people keep saying Miami Nationals.
Yeah, I got you.
And we get like yelled at like it's not Miami National because it could be in Orlando. It could be one time it was in Atlanta. So that one is like really big.
Okay.
It's the biggest of it all.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's like the last opportunity to get your pro card.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So it's big. The girls are so competitive.
Yeah.
And everybody, usually they have the Olympia before nationals.
Yes.
So everybody's done with Olympia. So everybody's coming to watch nationals. So you have all these Olympians in the building.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a big show.
Yeah.
And I got second call out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was like, you know what? That is fine. This is the biggest one.
Right.
Second call out. I was in the middle. I said, okay, we're not on the side.
Right.
We're not in the last call out. Right. So we are doing something correct. Like I am on the right track.
For sure.
So after that, I got feedback from Sandy, and it was the same thing. It's like, we got to be leaner. I was like, okay, something is not working.
Okay.
You know, because I was with my coach from Brooklyn since 2015. So almost 2 years now. And, you know, we done show. It was good. But it's like, okay, I need something different.
Okay.
And that's when I hired Ryan.
Okay, gotcha.
Ryan Walter.
Okay, cool.
And I got my pro card under him.
Okay, very cool. And what's his brand? What is his business?
His brand is You versus You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Which he should promote more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And is he local? Because I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ryan, he's in Nashville.
Okay. Cool.
I might be wrong about that.
Yeah. Okay. Somewhere around here, though.
Somewhere around there. But he's usually also in Murphys. Like when we used to do check-in, I will see him face-to-face. It used to be in Murfreesboro. Okay. But I know that he's in Nashville.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what I was wondering if, like, now at this point, you know, like, were you like, okay, I have to have somebody like in person.
Yeah.
Like that's what made kind of the difference you felt like?
I felt like I needed somebody in person that can see me versus like sending emails all the time.
And check-in pictures.
Yeah, and check-in pictures and stuff. I was just like, I need a different approach also.
For sure.
Like a different approach.
Okay.
So when I met Ryan and we spoke, it was just like instantly, like I want you to be my coach.
Okay, good. I love that.
Because he didn't sugarcoat anything.
No, it's just straightforward.
It was straightforward.
Yeah.
And he didn't say things like, I know some coaches say that. And I'm like, I don't think you should say that to an athlete. Like, if you join me, it's guaranteed that you're going to get your pro card. Or it's guaranteed that you're going to get first place. Like, things like that. And I'm like...
It's false promising.
Right. I'm like, you can't tell that to an athlete because you don't know who's showing up.
Exactly. And you don't know the judge. Like, no. That's... Yeah. So, if you want me asking, the first coach you had in Brooklyn, was it a female? Or was it
was a male.
Okay. So, you've stuck with, like, male coaches. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just wondering, like, different approaches and stuff. Yeah. You know? So, then after... So, you get with him. That's 2018 now. Right? And what was your next show?
So in 2018, we did Kentucky.
Okay.
In April, and it was a good show.
Okay.
Yes. If you guys don't, like, if you want to go outside of Tennessee, Kentucky definitely has a really good show. Yeah.
Okay.
Really good. And it was like packed.
Oh,
like
wow.
they had a full audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we did Kentucky.
Yeah.
Then after Kentucky, we did one national show that year. We did Universe. And
I heard that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did Universe, and I got third call out.
Okay.
So that was a bummer because Kentucky, we got second place.
Yeah.
We were qualified because, you know, when you qualify for the pro qualifier, you qualify for that year and the year on.
Okay.
So mine was over in 2017, so I had to re-qualify again. So that's why we did Kentucky.
Okay.
And I got second place, perfect.
Yeah.
And then I went to Universe, got third call out. It was a bummer. I was just like, okay, like, what is it that we're doing wrong?
Right.
And I remember wanting to just go to improvement season, off season.
Yeah.
And I think after a month, I was like, I want to do a show.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get back on stage.
For sure.
And that was the first year that they had Night of the Champion.
Okay. Love that.
So when we did Night of the Champion, we decided to do both. We did bikini and figure.
Oh.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we knew that 2018, I got qualified.
Yeah.
2018 and 2019, we're going to try to get that pro card.
Right.
Like, we're going to try to do those
everything
pro
we can.
qualify.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did Night of the Champion, we're like, okay, we also need to make a decision. Like, are we going to stay in bikini or are we going to give it a try in figure?
Yeah.
Because the constant feedback was come in leaner. You know, you're a little bit too muscular, come in leaner.
Okay.
So when we did Night of the Champion, figure and bikini, I won both classes. Both overall, girl.
I love that.
And it
I would
was
have been
just
flipping
like,
out. Like, it's like taking all the things.
right.
Like,
They were like, I remember Becca was like, we never had somebody take overall and bikini and figure. Like, who does that?
Right.
But when I got off stage, I was like, yeah, I'm a bikini girl.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, I knew
but you
right
got to
away.
see, you know, because that was something that's what I was wondering. I was like, do you like regret or like, do you have, you know, wishing? So you got to see.
Yeah, I'm really happy that I did try figure. The poses are different.
Yeah, I'm learning that right now.
The poses are different. And I know like for bikini and wellness, our backs suffer the most.
Yes.
For figure, I really think the upper body and their quads and knee, oh my God. Like when I was doing comparison for that show, my leg never hurt that much until that day. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
because you're on stage, you're flexing, and you're like, "Oh my God, hold it."
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm like working on finding like a posing coach for.
Oh, you switch for a figure?
Yeah, that's
not know that.
Nobody knows that. Now they do, I guess. So
secret is out.
Yeah, the secret is out. Ooh, so that's the plan. Yeah, I got a new coach, and so I'm working with him, and so he that's what he was like. I think this is gonna be the vibe. I said, let's try. You know, because so he's actually in Texas, but and he has competitors there, and they go all over. But he's moving up here. So within the years. But again, it was one of those things where I was like, we've known each other. I know him. I've watched his athletes, like, and everything they've done. So yeah, and it just he's real cool, and he has a different approach. He really does care, like in terms of like my mental well-being and everything with it too, of like, okay, like we're flipping the switch on here, but then like also here's a time to rest, and like here's, you know, and like I needed that because like you saw me, like I was very just like to the edge. So anyway,
I'm surprised that you didn't jump.
I was about to. I mean, because I think I told you like my vision. I lost my vision, and
you did not tell me that.
Yeah, so my left eye went like it blurred, so it's like I couldn't see out of it. So it was the whole thing. So like when I saw
you didn't tell me that my face.
No, it
my God,
it was really bad. Like, and basically I got like this like viral infection, and it like took me out, and like because I was in a prep for like 80 weeks, Vania. Like, I mean, and you can say I wasn't. Like, I know how.
We had this conversation every time she told me. I'm like,
dude, I would see her.
This is impossible. Like, why did you?
I would see her at the gym, and I was like laying on the ground. I was like, can we just like I don't know if I'm doing this wrong.
How do you get up the next day to do things?
I literally couldn't. Like I was like I had to like roll off this couch. Like I had to like put everything that I had in me to like get up. And so then I was like, but I remember sitting there being like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then literally kind of being dismissed about it. And then it was like, okay, whatever. And so then I was just like, I guess maybe I'm being weak or maybe I'm whatever.
Were you afraid of the changes?
It was afraid of the changes of having a new coach, right? Because like the other one was like, look, you don't have to come to me now. But he was like, you need to decide. Because if so, then we got to like go right now. And I couldn't even comprehend like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just, I was so tunnel vision and so focused. I was like, no, you have to. And then
I wanted to finish the prep also.
Yes, exactly. And literally like when I say that I could feel like my body shut down, I was on that Stairmaster and it like shut down. But anyway, after my birthday, my vision, I couldn't see out of my left eye. And I was just like, has this ever happened to anybody else? Well, come to find out, later on, when I started openly talking about it, people were like, "Oh yeah, like this like has happened to me." Da da da. All this stuff. I was like, "What in the world?" Like, but other bodybuilders and other people, and I was just like, "Ain't nobody tell me this could happen." You know, and I never would have thought, being in the healthy lifestyle journey, I've done strongman. I've literally like I've done all these things.
And bodybuilding extreme.
Yes,
is very extreme. I don't think a lot of people realize that.
No, they think it's just eating better.
They also see the beautiful pictures on stage, the beautiful posing on stage. And, and they also say, you guys don't eat anything. Like a lot of people always say, you just only eat grass. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I look good eating grass.
Exactly.
But they don't realize how much we do go into the show.
Yeah.
With eating grass. Like, how will you survive eating grass?
Exactly.
Ignorant comments, that's okay.
Right.
But the amount of work that you put in, how mentally you have to be focused and strong about it.
Yeah.
Not letting things get in your head. Like when you get on the scale and the scale is not moving, but you had such a good week. Yeah. But the scale is not moving.
Right.
And it's the point where it's like, okay, do I have extra cookies because the scale is not moving, or do I stick to the program?
100%.
You know?
You're literally like on, like you're like 1 foot off that ledge every day.
Yeah,
and, like every day, because it's like, well, might as well, or like, you know. And so I'm so glad to hear you say that, because it's not like, I mean, because when you've done this, you didn't do it as like a weight loss transformation. You just did it as like you wanted to build muscle, you know, feel good in your body, those things. And so it's not this like you have past trauma with like food or you know, like but and so like that's so special to hear that like you like also have gone through those same struggles. You know what I mean? Because it is like that's part of it.
It is.
And I think people always think it's just a certain subset or it's whatever. It's like, no, we all are going through it. And like,
or like you just ate and you still hungry.
Yes. Yeah. And then, but you got to deal with the fact that like that's okay though.
Right.
But it's not like you're like you know, depriving yourself or like whatever.
I like that you said that's okay. Honestly, right now I'm 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's 2:35. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
If I wasn't hungry at 2:35, I would absolutely think something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like something's like, I feel like I need to have that hunger because I feel like the hunger is telling me I'm doing something right.
100%.
Yeah, you know? And then I can control it because I don't eat until 3:30. So I just need to stay busy, do something until 3:30 to eat. And so like hunger is part of it. And some people can't handle being hungry for 2 hours. Right. Or 3 hours.
Yeah. And it really is as simple as like that mindset shift of like, just gonna go till 3:30.
Yep.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to Love Your Body podcast. Make sure to subscribe, share with a friend, like, comment, all the things. We'd love to hear from you. And if you can, follow on Spotify, on YouTube, and
my name is Vania Auguste, and I am a posing coach, 3-time Olympian. I'll be doing the Olympian in 6 weeks, and I'm very excited about that. I do posing coach at Carbon Culture. You can also find it on my site, posingwithv.com, or my Instagram, and you get all the information. I also do coaching, but we're going to pick up on coaching after the Olympia because we got to finish strong for the Olympia.
I love it. That was perfect. It was just a table rocking. So, talking about being hungry, okay, I know it's the worst, but it is something that I have told my clients and that I have like experienced myself. But like when you can sit there and like go to bed and you're like, you didn't go for the cookies or you didn't go for the extras and whatever, I just feel so successful the next day. And someone can be like, oh, that's bullshit or whatever, you know, but it's like, truthfully, you just feel like, I have power over.
You feel so good. Yeah. Like, I have so much control of myself.
Yes. And it's empowering. Yes. And it is amazing because at one point I remember and go back to it where like I didn't have that control, or it was like how easy would it have been to just like go for those foods for comfort. And you got to deal with your stuff.
But then after that you are you feel so guilty. Right. And that's where some people, they have, I don't want to say body image issue, but like they get really hard on themselves.
For sure.
You know, so they go to sleep, they, you know, before bed, they're like, you know what, let me have one cookie turns to 5 cookies. Right. And then tomorrow they absolutely hate themselves. They're upset, they're angry, the scale is not moving. They're like, you know, they're looking at themselves, what's wrong with you? Yeah. But it's okay. Yeah. Because things like that happen.
For sure.
It's just about how you deal with it the next day. Right. Like, okay, I had 5 cookies. Now, tonight, let's really, really try not to go for that one cookie because that one cookie changed to 5 cookies.
Well,
you
it's
know?
about knowing yourself too.
Yes.
Like, I'm not gonna have alpha cookies up in here, like just for the fun of it, right? Because I know that like I'm gonna want to eat them, you know. And so it's one of those things of like, now if I plan for it, allot it, then like that's a whole different story. But I'm not just like being like, oh, let me just have my favorite absolute. Yeah. Now, if there's like regular ratchet cookies or something, I'll be like, y'all want some? Like, y'all can have that, you know? But I think just knowing yourself and knowing what is those kind of triggers or what, you know, could be tempting. But so with the Olympia, it's coming up in 6 weeks. Okay. So going back to you got your pro card again in 2019, you said? 2019. Okay, cool.
That was my 6th pro qualifier show.
That's incredible. Yeah. How many shows have you done total?
Show-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't even know. You just like
I had made a post on Instagram. I know it's like 40 and up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've done
since 2017 or 2016. Yeah, so So what we at? 7 years.
That. And I think half of them is pro.
So 7 years. I don't know the math. What is math? Wait, is that 8 a year? Like 8?
2008, 2007, 6 years.
What, but I mean,
Well,
like,
no,
but
well,
like,
I started in 2015. So if you started in 2015.
Okay.
So
about six a year?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Because like I've done 2 each year. And that was like, again, I feel like, I could have done another one or whatever, but like on that level for being pro. So how is like, I mean, I have so many questions. With your like hormones and stuff like that, have you dealt with anything on the negative side? You've been good? Like, okay. How do you regulate all that? Like,
I have fat after every show.
yeah.
Like, I go for a burger. I
Right.
try to feed my body like fat.
Yeah.
And then after 3 days, like, my cycle will come.
That's
but
wild.
honestly, like, Mother Nature just, I don't know if she loves me.
Yeah, sometimes she loves you.
She hates me, but regardless, I appreciate her all being to, like, in my bodybuilding career the entire time. I'll have my cycle the day before peak week.
Yep.
The day of the show, or like if I don't have it that week, it will come the next week. Like, I've never gone to like a period where people say they lose their period for like a year, 2 years. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That isn't, I don't know how I would react to that because I never had
sucks.
that. Because that would freak me out because it's like something is not right with me.
Right.
Something's wrong. Something's off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing too, I think that bothered me the most was that like no one was alarmed by that. And it's like, so now I'm trying to work on doing all the things to get that back.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it was because, again, being a constant state of stress. And it just was like, even when I wasn't stressed, I was still stressed. My body was. And so, but even just slowly incorporating more fats and things like that, because I was very low for a long time.
You need to incorporate the fat.
Yeah.
You have to drive a certain supplement also. Like certain things that you have to do to get to kick in, especially the fat. That's why most of the time why we lose our period, because our body fat is so low.
Yeah.
But after your show, that's very important. I know a lot of people talk about reverse dieting, but what are you putting in your body?
Exactly.
Excuse me.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, what are you can't tell me you're reverse dieting with the same clean food and that same low fat.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you got to work on. Yeah.
Right. Then your cycle is not going to come until 6 months later.
Right.
Because you reverse dieting really slow, really slow, really slow. Your body fat is 6% and it's not 7% until 2 weeks later and so on. Yeah.
So what do you, for everyone just listening and not, watching on YouTube and stuff, tell them like what has been your lowest body fat and what is your normal? Like when you're just like improvement season or when you're walking around, what do you sit at and what do you sit on stage?
All right. It's crazy. So my body fat 6%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm like, that's crazy.
Incredible. I mean, she's not like
6%. And I always like at carbon culture, you know, the guys say like, man, her body fat is 4%, 3%. And I would get on the in body to show them like you guys are lying and it'll come 6%. I'm like, okay, right.
Yeah. You're like,
and then off season, this off season was actually one of my best off season.
Okay.
Since I turned pro, I've been going, trying to get to the Olympian stage.
Yes.
And I haven't had a summer to myself.
okay. Yeah.
So this was the first season I got to enjoy my summer
good.
completely.
Okay.
Like it
love
was
that.
amazing.
Okay.
And I got up to 130 pounds.
Okay. But on stage, you're usually what, like
108.
108, yeah.
Yeah, 108, 109, between 106. My lowest was 106.
Okay.
And then my heaviest was 109.
Okay, gotcha.
So I got to 130 and I was like, oh my God, like, all right, I'm loving this figure.
Good.
Like, I feel good.
Good.
And of course I work out every day.
Yeah.
You know, I might take like a day off or 2 day.
Right.
But it was that improvement season where like, if I didn't work out today, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If I didn't do my cardio today,
love
I'm
that.
fine. It was like no pressure, no nothing.
Right.
But one time they're like, Sequoia from Carbon Culture came out to me. He's like, what's your body fat? I'm like, well, I'm off season. It's probably 22%. They're like,
absolutely not, Vania.
No way. I'm like,
what did you just say?
yeah, it's like 20%. They're like, no way. They're like, you probably 12%. I'm like, no, it can't be 12% because if I'm 6% like prep,
You like
12% is like I have to be in the prep season, you know? They're like, no, it's like 12% or 15%. I said,
No,
watch tomorrow. So tomorrow I got up, went to the gym, took the, did the in body, got the paper, and I saw it. I was like,
Yeah, what did it say?
14%.
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, girl, come on, like.
It was like 14%. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like 130, 14%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and guys, for everybody that's listening, like, it's not even, there's no like protocol in this. Like, it's not like, oh, you need to be like double your body fat or like, it's nothing like, whatever anybody's trying to get back to. It's just, again, letting your body adjust to the more calories, you're lifting heavier. Cause I think that people still get confused about what improvement season means and off season, like, oh, you're enjoying these things or whatever. It's like, again, there's a balance to it, but I mean, we're still meal prepping or I don't know. Do you use a meal prep company or do you?
No, I do my own food. Yeah.
So you do your own food. Yeah. You're still working out like you just said all the time.
You still keep in the cardio. So I think some people, when they go to off season, they just drop cardio, like in general, just like no more cardio.
What's that life like? Like, what is I got a Stairmaster in there?
I've noticed that. For me, this year and last year, I realized off season, I have to keep my fasted cardio.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me to get back into prep.
Yes.
So I'll do fasted cardio in the afternoon. It's like, if I want to. If I don't want to, I'm not going to do cardio. But I'll do like 20 minutes every day. And that's how I started my day during prep. So not doing it felt like...
weird.
Yeah, weird. Like my day was like sluggish. So I just stick with my fasted.
Well, and because you... And we kind of touched on this before, but you... because you're a school teacher.
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore. Okay.
Not anymore.
So what do you do now?
I do this full time. Posing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
So when did that transition happen?
In May.
Okay. Oh, so recent.
Yes.
Okay. How you feeling about it?
At first, I was very nervous at first. Living a stable job, insurance, everything like that, to doing something that I really, really love. Like, I'm very passionate. I'm passionate about teaching too. I love my students.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it took me forever to take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And I've been praying about it for like 2 years. I've been asking God, because it was getting tough, especially last year, teaching, posing client, prepping myself.
Oh yeah, you're doing the most.
It was an intense, and my schedule, my routine was exactly the same.
Okay.
Like nothing changed. Like in the morning, fasted.
Yeah.
Then I will go to work, teach, grade,
Oh yeah.
talk to my students. And then after work, go straight to the gym.
Yeah.
And I would train.
Yeah.
But if I go to the gym and have a client, I'll pose my client, then train in between, then pose a client, then go home and make sure that
schedule right there. Yeah.
And then go home, make sure that I have enough food for the next 2 days. If not, then I have to cook and then go to sleep.
And at this point, were you living like alone? Have you had your boyfriend?
I have.
Like, okay, so was he a support in this? Like, did he help with?
Yes,
okay.
It definitely helped. Well, he did not help with the food, because a couple of times he put extra seasoning, so I told him no more.
Hey,
yeah,
fired.
You can put the fish out, you can put the chicken out.
Dude, I love that so much.
But do not, I got the seasoning part.
Yeah, like,
or I will season it and tell him, can you just put this in the oven? And like, that's all you doing.
Yeah.
And then take it out. That's it. Yeah.
Don't you love it when you have someone help, but then they're just like, they put something on, you're like, wait, this tastes too good.
Yeah.
What'd you do? They're like, oh, I just use that one. It's like,
I use butter.
Yeah, like, absolutely not.
Butter.
I love that so much, though. I love that you did have that support at a hectic time, So with that, leaving in May, okay, so would you say to somebody, listening that, after your first Olympia, like what was the difference between the first Olympia to the second Olympia? Was there like more pressure? Was it just kind of like this expectation that you had to keep up with that on top of everything? Or was it more like it was so exciting, it was still new?
The first one was very exciting. Okay. I was just so happy to be there, like blessed, like, oh my God, I did this.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't know. So in 2019 is when I got my pro card. And once I got my pro card, I was on it. Like, I'm going to go to the Olympia. I was ready to go to the Olympia. I did a couple of shows, then COVID happened up to 2020. I did. I was grateful enough because in 2019, I went to the Philippines to compete.
Oh, wow.
And then in 2020, right before the shutdown, went to Colombia.
Okay.
So I did Philippines, Colombia. They shut down. The show kept moving back, kept moving back until they start happening until I would say August.
Yeah.
It's summertime. So 2020, I was still on the run to get to the Olympia, to qualify for the Olympia. Okay. At that point, you win a show and you get qualified for the Olympia, or when you place top 5, you get points.
Okay.
And then the points accumulate until the girls with the top points will go to the Olympia.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So, for example, if I do a show and I place 5th, I get 2 points or 1 point. If you place 4th, it's 3 points.
So now you have people going to all these shows trying to get these points.
Trying to get these points, and then you add the points. As you adding up the points, the top 5 girls with the highest point will qualify.
Wow.
Plus the girls that win shows.
Okay, this was something they did because of after COVID, or?
No, that was something that they did. They just changed the rule.
Oh,
they had changed the rule. Okay. It was like before COVID, they changed the rule.
Got it.
So when they did that, I was one of the girls that started my season early.
Yeah.
So I already had points from Philippines and Colombia.
Yeah.
So when COVID happened, not a lot of girls were competing. And when we started competing, I had about 8 points.
Okay.
And some girls didn't have any points.
I see.
So I was really in the run to qualify in 2020. Right. And the last show to qualify for, I had 10 points. And I was number 5 on the list.
Okay.
So technically I'm qualified.
Right.
But the girl behind me, she had 9 points.
Okay.
And there was one last show in Atlanta. It was actually Chicago Pro.
Okay.
They did it in Atlanta that year because of COVID and all that.
Yeah.
We both did it.
Yeah.
And my reason of doing it was to make sure that I'm locked in. You don't want to be number 5 because number 5 is anybody can knock you out the list.
100%.
So I was like, we need to make sure that we in the top list.
Yeah.
And she did it also. So it was just like, oh my God, I need to do this.
Right.
She got 5th.
Yeah.
I got 2nd call out.
Okay.
She got 1 point extra and bumped me out.
No way.
So I missed the Olympia that year by 1 point. In 2020.
Let's just take a minute. I cannot.
Yes.
How did you feel? What was
God.
I mean, obviously disappointed, right? But because you'd already been, right? So you'd already been the first time.
No.
This was your first one.
Okay. Before my first one.
Okay.
That was before my first one. And I was this close and I missed it by 1 point.
Okay.
Disappointed was...
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was so disappointed. I was so upset at myself.
So was it your coach that was let's okay, you got this, get right back in it? Or were you just no, I'm in it for blood now. I'm going to get to the Olympia.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was me.
Yeah.
I was 100%. I'm going to get to the Olympia.
Yeah.
I mean, after I missed it by 1 point, that was my first time going to the Olympia.
Yeah.
I went to watch the Olympia. I was I'm going to watch the show because I was supposed to be on that stage.
Exactly.
So I purchased my ticket. It was in December. I went and I watched the girls, and I said to myself, next year I'm gonna be on that stage.
That's exactly what I would have done. 100%.
I watched prejudging final.
Yes.
I mean, I was broke, but I was okay with it. I was like, I'm gonna spend the money to go.
Yeah.
And I went and I watched it, and I told God, I said, we're gonna be on that stage the next day.
Yeah. Gosh, I gave you so many chills. I love that so much. That I know that it's such a negative thing that happened, but it was. Well, what led you? It gave you that draft. So then, literally, you're sitting there fighting for what you want. The next year, and you're like, I'm going to get back. So what did it take to get back to qualify?
Changing coach.
Okay.
I had to change coach. I had to change my method of how I saw things. Okay. For example, cardio. The previous coach I was with, he wasn't a big fan of me running or doing the Stairmaster. It was always the treadmill. So I was listening to that, and I was doing tons of cardio.
Yeah.
My food was so low, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, I asked myself, how you ask yourself, why did I stay in this for so long?
Right.
2 ounces of fish? What is that?
God.
That's ridiculous.
That's
what? And as an athlete that you want it so bad, you're okay, I got this, I can do it. And I know that feeling. I remember I used to go and do fasted cardio. I was at an apartment, and me and my boyfriend was living at an apartment at that point. I used to go to Gold's Gym to do fasted cardio at 8 o'clock because I was so tired.
Yes, exactly.
8 o'clock is not fasted cardio.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, although it's still on an empty stomach, it's not the same as waking up at 5 a.m., you know?
Yeah, I do.
So that's why tired I was. And I was like, you know what? Something got to be different. So I changed coach.
Okay.
I changed my cardio.
Okay.
I changed the way I train.
Yeah.
Really focus on the glutes and the legs, like really listening to the judges. Like I took a step back. What have the judges been telling me in the pro division?
Yeah.
You know, what do I need to work on? And I look at the top pros. I said, looking at things like that, the suit, the hair. I said, okay, I need to be more polished.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because it could have been so easy for you because you are, you know, gorgeous and strong. You have a lot of muscle and all these things to just be like, no, like I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so to actually be like, okay, let me sit. Let's see what they say. Because again, that's something that I've had to look at with myself of like, yes, like I love my body no matter what. And it's always like improving and things like that. But like, regardless, like when I leave that stage, I'm like, I won because like I did this for me and whatever. Right. But looking at it from a next level of like when that switch happens of like, no, but I want to win. You have to then adhere to, it's not about just like the look or being like, oh, I feel like I look for the best, like overall. It's like you got to listen to like what they're wanting because it's their, I mean, it's their opinion. It's what they're wanting, you know? So again, it is so good that you were able to like be like, okay, let's take it back. Let's adapt, overcome.
Yep.
And like go for it.
You have to.
So when you took all that feedback and everything like that, you know, got the new coach, how many shows did you have to do before you qualified again?
That year? Yeah. In 2021, I did 10 show plus the Olympia was 11.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I was blood, like you said.
I just like passed out. Like I
did.
What is that even? I can't even. Is that every other month?
It was
like every month.
Two in a month. Every 2 weeks.
You the calendar girl. You the like the
every 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
When I qualified for my first Olympia, officially qualified, I did 10 plus the Olympia was 11. I started my season early. Like my first show was in March.
Right.
That's the first show of the season. I was like, I'm doing that show. I did a 16-week prep because I didn't want to do 2 hours of cardio or eat that. I was like, we're not doing that. We're going to take the time. We're going to do it really slow. Enjoy my cheat meal.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that.
And we did that. So I think I did 4 shows.
Yeah.
Took like a month off. But you know, like taking a month off is not like taking a month, oh, I'm going to go out. I'm going to eat. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's more like letting your body relax.
It really is just a rest.
Yeah.
Like when you say that to me, I'm like, rest. Someone might think, oh yeah, go out party. I'm like, no, she just needs to chill for a second, like, a breath. And
like,
then
I don't want to do faster cardio. I don't want to do faster. Like things like that. Like I'm not going to the gym today. Like things like that. Yep. So we took a month off, like just resting. And then 2 months later, we were like back to it and like back to back to back.
Yeah.
Like doing those shows. And my that year, that season, my first full show, I was placing in the top 10.
Okay.
In the pro division. It was my first time.
Oh, wow.
Well, in 2019, I did place second and third. But in 2021, I was placing in the top 10, and the lineups were pretty good. There were big Olympian there, and I was really happy.
Okay.
So I got like 10th, 8th, 7th, 6th, and I was like, that's like show number 4. I'm like, I'm like 6. I still haven't cracked the top 5. What is it? Yeah. And I remember one time, one show, it was in California. It was in San Diego. And I was I don't know if I was sick or maybe, I think I was broke. That's what it was. Okay. I was broke.
Yep.
I was broke, but I was like, I'm doing that show. Yeah. I'm like, God gonna find a way. We doing this show. Like, no, it was broke.
You're like, and the real answer, the real reason. Got it.
Yep. And I remember I got a cheap hotel because the host hotel was too expensive. Yep. I got a cheap hotel on the side.
Yeah.
And then I remember like my coach came and checked on me. He's like, all right, we good to go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then Saturday morning, 2 people went on my site and booked like 45-minute session. And I was like, look at God. Like,
you manifested it.
Insane.
Yeah.
And that show, I got second to Ashley K.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's when things started going.
Yeah.
Really fast. And since then, I've been placing in the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I placed top 6 one time in 2022. I placed outside of the top 6.
Okay.
But that time when I took a leap of faith and I said, I know I'm broke. I'm still going to do the show. I'll figure it out after. Yeah. And when they did prejudging, it was me and Ashley in the middle, and I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, to myself, I'm like, this is crazy. Is this real? Like, oh my God.
I love that.
And when my coach called me, I told him, I said, yeah, Sandy was the head. She was like, yeah, Sandy made me and Ashley move to the side as the top two. And he's like, no, you lying. I'm like, no, I'm serious.
No, I'm serious. Like, this is happening right now.
Like, this is happening.
We gotta figure this out.
Like, on this.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So then that was just like a heck of a year. So that was 2000 and you said 19? Yeah.
That was 2021.
Oh, 2021. Okay. Yeah. 2021. So then you went to the Olympia that year.
Yeah.
And then
with points.
Okay. With points.
Yeah. Cause I never won a show, but I got second.
Yeah.
I got third. I got fourth. I got second. That was the first year that Nashville had pro division. Okay, yeah. And I got third place. And I was very happy because Jennifer Dory got first that year, won, and then Krista Bolina got second. So these two ladies, they were top Olympian. Yeah. So me getting third was like amazing. And I was in my hometown. I was like,
you represented.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. And then, and so then from there, 2022, you did, how many shows did you do then?
In 2022, I did 8 shows.
Okay.
I did 7 shows and then 8 that was the Olympia.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. And so, I guess so far, so when this airs, it'll literally, I think, be like the week before the Olympia. Okay. So what's some advice that you want to tell to yourself, even like right now, like so that you can like reflect back on this of like, okay, like how are you feeling? Like, are you excited? Are you the same as like, do you feel like this is totally a different prep? Like, how are you feeling?
I feel so good. I feel better than last year.
Okay, good.
Like my prep last year was good, but this year with how the season started and like my coach know my body very well now and I know like the conditioning and what they want. I feel really, really good going to the Olympia this year. Yeah. And they doing it in Orlando this year.
Hey, I know.
Last year it was in Vegas.
So I'm so excited.
I am so excited. It's in Orlando. It is like nice. The weather is nice. And I have so many of you guys coming to watch me. Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, I cannot disappoint these ladies. I cannot. But then I'm like,
it's for you.
No, Vania, no pressure. Just go out there and have a good time because I just know in my heart that I'm going to bring that same physique that I bought for Pittsburgh. The judges were really happy about it. Okay. We're going to bring something like that, but even better.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. No, I love that. And I know a lot of people that are going to be there. And so it's going to be super cool. And just, it's going to feel, I think like you were talking about how the energy, everything will be there. And I've always wanted to see it and just the expo and everything like that too.
And manifest everything that you need to manifest that day. Please do.
Yes, for sure. And so I don't know, man, it's just so crazy to hear all of this, because again, I think that so many people, could look at you and just how you are right now and be like, well, obviously, she's always been ripped or she's always you know what I mean, been athletic or whatever. Right. So
I get that a lot. Oh, she's always been petite. I'm like, I've always been small and active. Yeah. And I mean, in high school, I did not do any sport. I dance a lot. Yeah. Okay. College, I dance a lot. So I was very active, and my dad was the soccer coach for Haiti. So being athletic wasn't an issue for us. But learning about the muscle. Yes. Learning about the science behind bodybuilding. Learning about just your presentation, the suit. Yeah. That takes time because sometimes you hear things like, your suit don't look too good. And in your mind, you're like, what? I just got this suit. It looks really good on me.
Yes.
But the
color matters, the cut. Yeah.
Everything matters. Yeah. And you're and you realize, I remember at a point my suit wasn't the best on me. And one of those people on Instagram, don't want to name anybody, they will do reviews. Some of them are good. Some of them I'm just this is totally biased. They'll do a review about the top 5 and what they think. And, one of them said something about my suit and I was like, that's a good point. Okay. Let me change my suit. I changed my suit. Things started happening.
Yeah. Isn't that so wild?
But it was hard for me to see it. Yeah. Because I love the suit.
Well, it's almost like you have to be so confident in yourself and what you like in your vibe, but also have to be able to handle criticism, have to be able to handle all this. And that's what makes a good athlete.
Step back and literally look at, this is what I'm seeing, but this is what my coach is seeing.
Yes.
Or this is what other people are seeing.
Right.
You know?
And so at this point you've had, what, 3 coaches, or has it been?
Oh man, I had.
Oh, you have a few more than that?
A few more.
Okay. Because you hear some people talk about that of like, oh no, like, you know, you should stay with the same person or whatever.
Don't stay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I.
Don't you dare.
And I mean, it's not anything.
I'm a preacher for people. Well,
here's the thing too, though. It's like you should be evolving and you should be adapting. So,
absolutely.
like, as should your coach with you, or whatever. And if this is just like healthy lifestyle clients, this is totally different. We're not talking about that. But when you're so fine tuning that where it matters to like
where the Olympia, everybody's 1 point away.
Yes.
1 point away.
Yeah.
That's how small it is, like the details. Yeah. And some people, they just, I don't know, I feel like people don't want to leave their coach because they want to be loyal to their coach.
Right.
You know, it's like a loyalty thing, or like, oh, this person made me, or something like that. But I'm like...
But you're not owned by that coach. And that's something I want people to know too.
You had to put in the work.
Yes. And like, that's my thing is like, I want all my people in my community to know that like, I'm a support for them and I will rally for them and like, I got them and whatever. But like I don't own you. Right. And I don't want you to feel like...
You can make your own decision.
Yes. And you are putting that work in. I'm here to guide you. I'm a tool, just like everything else. Yes. Like, but again, like at the end of the day, it is you showing up, you know, time and time again.
You have to wake up and do the cardio. You have to eat the food.
Yeah. And a good coach should support you in that and tell you and help you when you are being like, hey, I do want to jump off that ledge, or like, hey, like really back in, you know, or maybe I get a big head or I don't, or whatever, and kind of help me navigate those things. Cause as you know, the mental side is so, I mean, what do you think in terms of like, have you dealt with it's more been the mental side has been what is like been the hardest for you, or has it been the physical? Okay. So you say the mental side of things. Okay. So, you know, what would you say to people listening? Cause I know a lot of people look up to you, a lot of people pose with you, right? So what's, you know, kind of your advice with that, with the mental? Is it, you know, do you recommend them having like a therapist when they're in bodybuilding? Do you recommend them just having a great coach? Like what, I mean, like, what do you say to help with that?
A great coach is definitely the key. Somebody that you can talk to. You don't want a coach that's involving too much drama. Yeah. That's going to drain you.
Do you find that, Vania? Do you find that where you're located at? Like, do you see that?
There's a couple of coaches out. Yeah. My coach is at Kimoda. Shout out to him. He's in Cali. And he's like, we call him Papa Bear because he's like so sweet. He's so kind. Yeah. Even when I send him check-in and I know like I look terrible and I'm like, you know, like when you said check-in, you're like, okay, this was a terrible week. Like you trying to tell him. And his answer will always be, that's okay. Let's take a rest day, or let's up the cardio. You're on track. We'll get there. You know, like his words, the way he answered to my to the time where I feel down, definitely uplift me. Like, okay, I can keep doing this.
I love that.
Yes, we are off track, but we can get back on track. Yeah. Like, that's really, really important. Having a friend that understands what you're going through definitely help. Yes. And when I say a friend, like, someone that understands bodybuilding or someone that want to understand bodybuilding. Because a lot of people, like, they don't get it or they don't want to understand it. Yeah. Like my best friend, I love her. She doesn't do bodybuilding. She has 2 kids, pregnant with her 3rd one. Yeah. But she absolutely support me. She understand that. Like even if I was to go out with her, she's like, you can't have that. Right. Like she will know, like, is that part of your diet? Like, exactly. She keeps me accountable.
See, and I love that. And that's how like China, she was on the podcast a few weeks back and we compete against each other. And so like she's been doing it a little bit longer than me, but she's that person for me. Yes. She completely gets it. She doesn't enable me. She doesn't like whatever, but she's like, it's just going to happen. Like she's very plain about it, you know? And that's so cool because I know that my clients and people, they're trying to understand it too, you know, as I am, but like, it's just different. And it should be, because again, it is exceptional, I feel like, and it is extreme and it is.
It's like a certain conversation that you can have with like my other best friend, Sierra. She's a bodybuilder. She's an Olympian also. Okay. So we can talk a lot about bodybuilding because we understand stuff like what you said about competing. Yeah. You get on stage with your body. You love your body. You're like, I love this. This is a win for myself. But you didn't win your class. Right. Right? With your friend, with that best friend, we can have that conversation. Okay, you didn't win your class.
Right.
Are you doing this for yourself?
Yeah.
You should be happy. But are you doing this to get to the next level?
Yes.
We need to start changing things.
Yep.
We need to start listening to the judges.
Yeah.
We need to make changes,
Yes.
you know? And you can have that conversation with your friend and they will understand. Like,
Which
that
I feel like is what you
bodybuilding
have
friend.
to have to
Right.
do this sport. Like, you
Right.
can't do this alone. And like, I mean, it feels very lonely, I feel like at times.
Yeah.
But like, you actually can't do it.
Yes.
By yourself. I mean, you'll go crazy.
Yes.
Like, you have to have that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Did you, if you want me asking, like, have you had a significant other the whole time you've been in bodybuilding? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and is he healthy lifestyle journey? Is there, he work
he's
out?
a veteran.
Okay.
He was in the Marine, so he's like, I'm done running because he used to run.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, no, that's all for you.
Yeah, he's
that's
like,
for you,
that's
babe.
you.
Okay.
Like, he's very supportive.
Okay.
He definitely makes sure I don't eat my cookies.
Yeah.
All his cookies.
Right, yeah.
He makes sure that I don't do that. And then he'll go on walks with me in the morning. That's like his workout, like our moment time, like his workout and stuff. But like he doesn't work out. He's like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. No, that's special, but I like to talk about that on here just so people know, because I mean, it is part of it.
Yes,
you know, if you
it
don't
is.
have a supportive spouse, or if you do have somebody that's like totally different, you know, walks of life, I just want to hear, you know, that kind of.
They have to understand. I think what's special about my boyfriend, he actually saw how my body changed.
Yeah.
Because we got together in that phase where I was working out, really enjoying the gym.
Yes.
And then when I really like
Working on yourself.
Right. And then when I really locked in.
Feeling confident. Yep.
Right. So he was able to see the body change and being there and supporting me and seeing like, now he's like, okay, when are you going to win the Olympia?
Yes, I love that. So so tell me, because I don't know, what did you place in the last Olympia? What did you say?
So both Olympia, I got third call outs.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for those listening, like, what does that mean?
So let's take last year. Last year, there's 58 girls.
Okay.
Competing.
58 girls.
So when there's 58 girls, of course, they got to do a top 10.
Okay.
So they'll do a first call out. And sometimes the first call out, that first group could be like 8 girls and it can also be 6 girls.
Okay.
So those 6 girls or the 8th girl, they just made top 8.
Okay.
And then the second group, they'll get the extra 2 to make that top 10, or extra 4, and then they'll keep filling it out. So I got third call out, so I ended up being, I guess, in the middle.
Okay.
But the goal this year is to be in top 10. Now, I don't know if it's going to be first or second call out, but I want to be in that top 10. Yes.
Yeah.
Because top 10 get to do final.
Okay. So then.
So prejudging, everybody do prejudging.
Yes.
So right now, I think there's 44 girls that's qualified for the Olympia.
Okay.
So all of us going to be on that stage at prejudging.
Okay.
And then final is only top 10 that get to walk on the big stage.
Okay.
And this,
and
oh my
you
gosh.
want to do that.
I
Yeah,
want to do that. I want to be on that stage. I just want to do my posing on that stage.
And your posing is always fantastic. I
Thank
love
you.
that. And anybody that's watched my videos that sees me posing, Vania's usually the one that's right there in front, like judging and everything like that. So I love that. And it's good. You have such a great energy. And like when I've watched you and that's why so many girls work with you. Cause I mean, it just is beautiful and it's confident and it's not overdone and not, you know what I mean? Like, so I love watching you.
I mean, with posing, you just got to find your style.
Right.
Once
Don't
you
try to
find
be
your style-
somebody
Yes.
else. Don't try to do what she did. Like, just, no, exactly. Like,
Find your style.
Yes.
And once you find it, just like keep perfecting it. Keep
Yeah.
perfecting it. Because when we look at posing, our posing are very similar.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many where you can do a front pose to a back pose, a back to a front.
So you have to be the difference.
Right, the transition are very, very similar.
Yeah.
What separate you apart from the next girl?
Yeah.
It might be that hair flip. It might be the way you look at the judges, you know,
Right.
what you do, your facial expression.
Yeah.
It might be that little shoulder pop. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those small details definitely are part of your routine. And I think a lot of people realize that they're like, man, I want to do this hair flip.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do what do they say? You know, a hand on the waist or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you don't practice it, you're not going to do it on stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. So with all this, I want to just go through real quick. What would you say is your favorite part of like all of this? Like, has it been like, yeah, like I know you probably already know. I don't have to go into it, but like, what's your favorite part?
I love meeting new people.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Okay.
Making memories is my favorite part. Like
Okay.
traveling.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like you've gone everywhere.
Oh my God.
Through this, which is cool. I had no idea.
When I realized that I can compete in different states, I was like, I am so down for it. It's I love that. I want to go, like, I went to Kentucky. Like, I'm like, before I turned pro, I wanted to compete in Alabama. Like, I was like, I am ready to travel with this sport. And I haven't been traveling because of COVID.
Right.
Since COVID happened, I haven't been international, to do a show internationally. But I just love going to these different city, different state, go to different
and
gym,
making the most of it.
Oh my God, making memories, talk to people.
Yeah.
Backstage, I love to talk to people backstage. I'm super friendly backstage. I know some people, they say bikini girls are mean.
Yeah.
I don't think we are mean. I think it's more like some girls, they just shut down because they're so focused. Yes. You know how some people are focused, like they don't want nobody to talk to them, and now they have the face.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, you better not come talk to me.
Exactly.
You know?
I know that face.
Yeah. But then there are other people like me, I have to talk to people. Like I can't just be like locked in, like nobody talk to me. But I just love making those type of memories.
So, so with your goal being top 10, so, and then just with everything, I'm just like so enamored by you because it's just so beautiful to listen to you and just explaining yourself and just everything that you have with this, because I think that so many girls are, one, doing this for the wrong reasons, but you know what I mean? And two, for like everyone else, right? And it just genuinely feels like you are like, yes, I'm going to meet people, I'm going to set this example, but like, this is for me and this is something special that I've like worked so hard for. And it's just beautiful to watch. So I love that. And I've always just, every time I've seen you, it's like, you'll be like close to a prep. I'm like, man, like she's still being nice. And like, she's, you know what I mean? Like I was not nice. Like we know that.
No, it was one time I saw you at the gym. Yeah. You look like you were ready.
I probably was about to die. Yeah. Like I literally was about to you probably were the last person to be alive.
Red. It was just like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. You like,
no, trash.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, how are people functioning? How is everything? But again, it's just, when you have
learning,
learning and adapting.
The sports. And then it's easier than you think.
Yeah.
If you follow,
have to be that
hard.
Yes.
Like if you follow a certain protocol that's clean, that's that's healthy, you're taking care of your body, listening to your coach.
Yeah.
And you ask questions.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's
ask
another
questions.
thing too. I think that people are so fearful of, they're so new to it that they don't ask questions. And that's or they are made to feel dumb when they do ask questions. And that's why it's like, if you're like me on the extreme of like, I was like, I did everything right. I focused everything that you asked.
And things are not moving.
Right.
I need answers.
Yeah. And then it's like,
we need a different method. Yeah. Like, do not say I need to do extra 30-minute cardio.
Thank you.
Change your
I told you that, you were just like, and walk out. Like I was like, I think you're right on that one. So that was so good. But again, having that advocate, having that female and that presence is so key. And I'm glad that you're in Murfreesboro. I'm glad you're at Carbon so you can represent, take up space, show them what's up, and doing the best way, because you just are doing such an amazing job.
Thank you.
So I love that. So is there anything that you would have told, what would you have told your beginning self? Like when you moved to Brooklyn, like what was something like that you would have said,
Trust the process.
Yeah.
It's hard. A lot of people say trust the process, but it's really hard because you see people, most of us that start the sport, we see the Olympian first.
Yeah. Yeah, was there someone that you looked up to at all? Or were you just like focused on you?
Jan Ronzini.
Okay.
I might be saying her name wrong.
Okay.
She didn't compete last year. She did compete with me my first year of Olympia.
Okay.
And I remember seeing her on stage. I was like, and Angelica was like those two that was like, like these ladies look amazing and I want to be like them, but it takes time to get to that level. It takes time to understand the sport, to understand what the judges are saying.
Let your body adapt.
Right. Like, what do they mean? Like you holding water? What do they mean by dry? What do they mean by conditioning? Like all of that stuff take time for you to understand.
Yeah.
And I would tell myself to ask more questions.
Yeah.
And to not stay in a situation longer than needed to be.
Yeah.
It's not about loyal because you are paying that coach.
Yes. And even if you're in a contract.
And even if you weren't paying the coach, if there's a point where you feel like your body's shutting down or things are not working, you need to ask questions and you need to make that decision for yourself.
Yes.
I love that. And trust me, the answer is always better. That leap of faith is so much better than staying in it.
Yeah. Well, not being fearful. And I think for me, the biggest thing was prep kind of messed with me a little bit and started making me fearful. And I was like, wait, like, I'm not that person.
Right.
Like, so like, no, like we have to like step back and then be like, okay. And that was like when all the stuff happened. I was just like, you know what? Let's reevaluate. Yes. Like, I need to live my life, because like, what good is like this body? What good is like all doing all these things if I'm sick?
Yeah,
my health is priority. Like, you know. And so I was like, so something's got to change. So I do feel like on a better, you know.
I am happy that you got a new coach. Yeah. I'm so happy for you.
And again, it's not to say he didn't help me at a time and whatever, but yes,
I am so happy as long as you leave things on a good note.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep, exactly.
If they take it a certain way, it's really up to them. Yeah. But you told them how you feel, your decision, you are clear about it, that is fine. Because I think everybody needs to understand there are a level to this. There are a level for coaches. There are a level for athlete also.
For sure.
You know, like my coach that I left, Ryan, I got my program under Ryan.
Yeah.
And when I left with Ryan, it wasn't because he wasn't good.
No.
I love Ryan. I love his method. But I told Ryan, I said, Ryan, I'm going to that Olympia.
Yeah.
And Ryan is I was like, I'm going to that Olympia, and I need a coach that's like there, hustling. You know, like not be in front of the judges, but the judges got to know you. You have to be at shows and stuff like that. Yeah. So that decision was hard, but he understood where I was coming from.
Beautiful.
Right. So it was like a clear understanding of why I'm going to the next coach. Not because, you know, I don't like you or I don't like your method. It was because I want to go to the next level, and I need a next level coach.
I love that.
And so on.
Oh, you know, that's so great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Vania. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see you. I'm going to be the one yelling in the audience.
Just say yes, ma'am. I'll be like, that's my people.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. You do so good. And yeah, I can't wait to see just everything you accomplish. And I'm so glad that you took this leap to be an entrepreneur, you know, now and just grinding. And like, it's tough, but it's so rewarding. And yeah, it's going to be epic. So.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I had a good time.
Thank you, girl. Until next time.
That was good.
Yeah, you did great.